Hey, it's Soleil, and this is episode 63 of the Orange Pill Investor. I think I'm just going to cut it short there. Um, Red Pill and Orange Pill is basically just repeating yourself. Um, red pill from the Matrix is basically choosing reality instead of fiction, and that's really what Orange Pill is as well. So kind of just repeating myself. I don't know if I thought it would be edgy or catchy or whatever, but it's a mouthful to say, and might as well just focus. Orange Pill is focused on Bitcoin, and the investor part is a little bit of a departure from what maybe some maximalists would say. If you're a Bitcoiner, they just say stack sat, self custody, etc. But you do have to perform some function in order to get money. And so I want to be able to earn a living in the stock market. So you can't have all of your money in cold storage if you got to have some money in the stock market. So that's an interesting dilemma of how much money to put into Bitcoin and keep it self custodied and safe from seizure. One of the guys that I follow on X just told a story about his parents just in Australia, trying to send a couple of grand to their bank, and then their bank was like, "Oh, this could be fraud, so we're just going to freeze your account." And I think a lot of us are labeled as paranoid or conspiracy theorists when we say, "Look, the banks can just seize your money, and countries can seize your money." Hell, even the United States, supposedly the freest place in the world, seized everybody's gold back in the day, and plenty of other countries literally just seize money out of people's bank accounts. So it's not like will it happen? It's basically when it will happen. So that's another risk though. So every penny that I have in the stock market that I'm using to generate income could be seized. So uh, that's a risk, and so it's tough. Um, Unless you've amassed enough Bitcoin in order to be able to just live off the Bitcoin and maybe sell some or take loans, uh, sell some at the peak and then maybe buy it back for cheaper, hopefully. But if the cycles start to disappear, the 4-year cycles start to disappear, um, eventually Bitcoin will probably kind of just settle into a groove of a smaller, slower appreciation without the volatility. And but I don't know. I think we probably got a few more cycles of just roaring upswings and some painful 75% drawdowns or whatever. Once all the institutional investors get their fill and they really can't stomach anymore Bitcoin at some point, uh, then there'll be plenty of people that will panic sell for whatever reason. But anyway, so we'll go with the Orange Pill Investor series, and there ain't no damn way in hell I'm renumbering or relabeling or re-uploading or any of that crap. But yeah, I'll just label this one starting today as the Orange Pill Investor. I think I'll be 63. On track for my 350 goal for the year. Uh, so excited about that. And nothing really much to do today. Just checking in on my 5K challenge, trying to turn it into a 25K account. So far, all I've done is turned it into a 4.5K account, but that's to be expected. My expectations are probably at least 50% returns for the year, and then depending on what the value of the stocks do, could be a little more. So could take 3 years to get a 5K account to 25K, and I don't know if people are expecting overnight miracles or whatever, but that's not the way I do it. And I mean, you could just try to scratch off lottery tickets and buy calls for this Friday and see if they go to the moon. Uh, but I was I was talking with some guys in the sauna. There were some young guys, and I saw them out of the corner of my eye. I could see that they had the Robinhood app open, and they were trading options. And I'm like, "Oh, you guys trade options? What do you do?" And they're like, "Well, mostly I just lose money." And they're like talking about what calls to buy. And I try to point them in a couple of directions. Like, there's a really good YouTube channel, In the Money, a kid named Adam that basically has a tutorial on how to trade options. And I just threw a little stat out there that most options expire worthless. So if you get in on the other side of those trades and you sell calls instead of buying them, you will actually be successful most of the time instead of unsuccessful. And every once in a while, when I see him again, I would ask him how their trades are going, but I don't think they were going well because they stopped wanting to talk about it. Anyway, most traders fail. They suck. I think there was this, I don't know if it was completely accurate, but I heard that a lot of people, when they open up a Robinhood account, they blow it up within 90 days. So they pretty much donate all of their money to the casino within 90 days. And I mean, there's only two ways to do that. You're either buying calls and they expire worthless, or you're buying stock and then panic selling. I mean, there's I don't see how many other ways you could possibly be doing this. There's really not there's not a lot of operations that can be done. You can buy, you can sell. So you're either buying things that become worthless, or you're buying things and panic selling. And I don't know. This shit's really not that hard. However, if you buy something and you sell a covered call against it, you're going to be able to reduce your cost basis. The cost basis is how much you paid for the shares. So let's just look at HUD. I'm going to buy another couple shares. And actually, while I was running my mouth, I missed out on 70710. So let's just buy 10 more shares. Got in at 754, but I sold covered calls against these for 29 cents. So really, my cost for these shares, if you want to look at it that way, was 725. So I'm actually breaking even here. Now, it doesn't quite accurately reflect it because I bought a few of these shares on margin. So leverage there, that's an extra risk that everybody has to decide for themselves if they want to take. All right, so let's see if this refreshes. Yeah, I dropped my cost by a penny. Big whoop. But the goal for selling the covered calls and then buying more shares is you want to get to another 100 shares even so that you can sell another covered call. So I sold these two $8 calls, got paid 29 bucks each. Reduced my cost basis from 750, whatever the hell it was, down to 725-ish. And as soon as I can buy enough shares to get it up to 300, I'll sell 3 calls a week and reduce my cost basis. Instead of 29 bucks times 2, it'll be 29 bucks times 3. So I think it's reasonable to expect 50% returns in a year. So around next March, let's let's bookmark that and see next March. I should be looking at 7,500 here minimum if this is working, and then another 50% the next year would be what, 3750. So I'd bring up to 10. That's 2 years. 10 at 2 years. I'm sorry, actually, the 50% return would be an extra, yeah, 3, so it puts me at 10. And then third year, another 50% would put me at 15. Fourth year, another 50% return would be 7.5. That would put me at 22. So maybe by mid fifth year, could expect to multiply this account times 5. So 5x return in 5 years to me is not unreasonable. That might sound boring to people who are like, oh, I want to get rich overnight. I want to do, whatever. I want to choose the next big thing that's $1 a share and have it, buy calls in it, way out of the money calls or something, and have it go up by $100 overnight or something, and then okay, now I'm a millionaire. But that's not what I'm about, and I don't know if that's a realistic expectation or not. But if you just buy and hold in the S&P, you're looking at what, like 7 to 10% returns. So 5xing in 5 years, it's pretty decent. All right, I think that is okay. So this is my small account, and I end up having to move what, 95% of this, 90% of this over to my main trading account, where I trade MicroStrategy, Tesla, and some of the other mining stocks, Mara and Riot. I used to trade Mara and Riot and Hut over here because I had some extra money to play with. But I'll start doing that more on the other account. And all right, so this is a low maintenance strategy too. So anybody that has a real job, I mean, you can just do this once a week. I mean, I'm checking in because it's for fun and it's for the video, and I got to post it every day anyway. But I don't have to look at this account today. This totally can just log in on Friday morning, or if something's going to get called away, you don't necessarily want to wait until late in the afternoon on a Friday if you care. But if you have 100 shares that gets pumped, like if this Hut went to $10 or something, this could even exercise early on a Thursday or something. I mean, they can exercise anytime they want to. They just have to want to. Generally, there's no reason to do that. So the people that are even exercising, generally there's not. Anytime you exercise, you're just sacrificing the the extrinsic value that's in the that still remains on that option. So I'm not sure what the point of exercising is, other than to maybe snatch shares before dividends. That kind of makes sense. But if you're not trading something that has dividends, I don't really see why people would exercise. I mean, just sell the damn thing. If you have a buy call option that's way in the money, I mean, you won. So just sell it and let somebody else deal with the exercise. But whatever. I don't take that side of the trade, so I don't understand the psychology on that side. All right. I think that's good for now. Hopefully the Orange Pill Investor Series will look just like the just look like it did yesterday, but with a shorter name. All right, be good, Joel.